Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast here by Asian Weather Forecast. This will be a huge update now on PTC9 or potential tropical cyclone 9, soon to be tropical storm Isaias here, could become named by as early as very early tomorrow morning. We actually have the biggest updates on this storm that we've had so far, in my opinion. This is actually extreme updates, a huge shift to the south. Now this storm's a lot more to the south than we think. The low pressure is going to move a lot more to the south. I would say 30 miles outside of this cone, and now we have a completely new cone, completely new location on this storm, and models are starting to get on it. We can possibly maybe have a landfall now a lot more to the south, and possibly Florida is the only target for the U.S. as of right now. The Carolinas are kind of going to get out of the picture. The Bahamas are kind of out of the picture as well. Puerto Rico's out of the picture as well. It's kind of Dominican Republic, Haiti, and possibly the Key West, and possibly southern Florida. Either the Key West, Miami, Homestead. So we're really monitoring this very closely, so be sure to watch the whole video so you can get all the major updates. Be sure to like the video if you really enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new to show your awesome support, and also hit the post notification icon so you get notified as soon as I do a video on PTC9. So here's an update on the National Hurricane Center. Here is PTC9 here, right here in the tropical Atlantic, extremely close to making landfall in the Lesser Antilles. I'll probably say 12 hours from here, 12 hours from now. It is now moving west-northwest at 25 miles an hour. Yes, it is moving extremely fast. It is hauling butt. Also, you probably think, oh, it's probably too fast for to organize, too fast to become rapidly become maybe a tropical storm. Actually, we are looking at satellite imagery as of now. We'll be looking at that really very soon. It's actually developing a lot more convection. Convection is blowing up right now. So maybe the speed of the storm isn't really doing anything, especially since it hasn't touched any land so far. So maybe we can very well see a tropical storm extremely soon, 40 miles an hour here. So we are seeing tropical storm force winds. It just does not have the structure as of now, but since it is, so now that the speed isn't really messing with the organization process, maybe this could fully wrap around and develop a lot more banding by tomorrow morning, where we can possibly have a tropical storm. Maybe even a tropical storm by the 11 o'clock update. I'll be maybe hopefully staying up to see that there, but look at this, 90% chance now for the next 48 hours. So it's extremely high, and the hopes are high. The hopes are up, and we are expecting to see our earliest eye ever recorded and the first ice storm ever in July in history. Here's a look now at satellite imagery. Look at the storm. It is absolutely mental, this convection. Look at all that convection right there. There is so much more convection as the sun went down a couple hours ago, 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago in this general area. It blew up right here. It is absolutely blowing up. You would think it would be the complete opposite now that it's sped up to 25 miles an hour. Actually not. It's not. So like I said, this thing's a lot more to the south than expected. It's actually right here, this low pressure system. It should be right here. So that's the major update. It's a lot more to the south right now, like Gonzalo. Gonzalo slowly went to the south and then went like that. This won't do a Gonzalo strength-wise, but it's doing a Gonzalo with the direction just not as far south. So this system should be right here. Right here's where it should be, based on the cone and earlier today. Now this is where it is right now. It is all the way down here, that low pressure system. Actually, let me do this again. It's now down here. So it is a lot more to the south, which is why we completely ruled out Puerto Rico, the possibility, completely ruled out the Bahamas, completely ruled out Georgia, South Carolina. Now it's really putting an eye on for now possibly Dominican Republic and Haiti, possibly northern Cuba, and southern Florida. Really monitoring this extremely closely, but look, the convection is really blowing up on the western side of the storm. Maybe it is getting a lot more organized, even though it's moving extremely fast. We just kind of need to wrap around a little bit more, and we can very well have tropical storm Isaias extremely soon. Here's another look here on another style imagery here. As you see, the storm's really starting to get its act together. As you can see, this convection is really wrapping around right there, just like that. It is definitely wrapping around. We just need that southeastern part of the storm to really kind of just get a lot of cloud cover, and we'll have our moisture bubble. That'll be number one. Make it possibly the dry air won't do anything. So the dry air won't become a threat as it does possibly develop its moisture bubble. And two, it could become officially a tropical storm as it possibly does start to wrap around. Alright, this is where we're kind of talking about the favorable conditions now for SSTs. As you see, we kind of have a new track here and new possibilities for a landfall. This storm's kind of, it's like right down here. It should be right here at this moment, but it's a lot more to the south here. So now that it's right here, it's around 28 degrees Celsius, and it's projected to possibly go towards the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and then go like this. This is the new track. It can actually increase the probability for effects on Miami, Key West, Homestead, and even portions of the Keys. This is going to really increase the threat. The thing I want to notice, the thing I want to say, Weather Hub TV said something a couple hours ago to me that really made sense. He said how the 1935 storm was a Category 1 as it went over the Bahamas, and was a Category 5 when it hit the Key West within a matter of hours. Extreme example of rapid intensification. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying this thing's going to be going through the exact area where that storm went. And also, we had a huge example as well with other previous storms that have blown up before affecting the Key West or Miami. He has a very great point that's really worrying about this. Really, it has, if it does go through the Haiti area, it has possibly 750 miles of really uninhabited water, no islands, nothing. It's possibly going to avoid Big Island and avoid Cuba, and it's going to go right, sneak its way right there into 29 to 30 degrees Celsius there, and then possibly affect the Key West, Miami-Dade County, and possibly even bigger areas near the Everglades. So really, it's a huge, significant change, really. Now the cone here, the National Hurricane Center, they have not updated, but you're going to see exactly what I mean by how south it is. Look, this is where this, look at where this cone is. Look, the cone's right here, right there. Look where this X is. Right down, let me change this here. Right down there. That X is around, I'll say, 30 miles south of where it should have been. It should be right there. That's where the storm should be right now. I know it doesn't look that different, but it went from 14.6 degrees north to 14.2 degrees north. I know that doesn't sound like a big difference, but in reality, it completely changes the outcome now. So we may or may not take away these tropical storm warnings, the National Weather Service may or may not take away these tropical storm warnings for the Puerto Rico area and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and may put tropical storm warnings more for the Leeward Islands, and possibly now for more of Haiti right there, Cuba right there, and then later on Florida. So really, this is a huge change. This is not the new cone. This cone's an old cone, but let me show you. I wanted to show you where that X was. That's at 8 p.m. Tuesday. Look at where that. They did not change the cone here because the National Hurricane Center somewhat stupidly expect this to take a huge, crazy mental turn to the north 100 kind of almost a 90, almost like a directly 90-degree turn like that. Like that's kind of what the National Hurricane Center is showing, and in reality that won't happen. Let me show you what the models are showing still. Here it is. Here's the 8 p.m. update here. Look at this. Look where it is. This X is right here. Look what they want this to do. They want it to go right to the north, and they think it's stupidly it's still gonna possibly catch up to that cone. I really don't think it's going to happen. It will not go all the way up like that and then go back into that in that cone. I don't think it's going to happen. If it's been taking a west northwest turn this whole time, it will not automatically go straight north then straight west. That's not going to happen, really. This is what I think is going to happen. Now models have completely changed. This will not affect Puerto Rico anymore. This will not affect the U.S. Virgin Islands anymore. It possibly won't even hit the Bahamas anymore. That's how big this update is. Look at that. 99.99 of the models do so now going south of Puerto Rico. Look at this. Look where the storm is right now. It's right there. It was supposed to be right here. That's a huge update because it's going to go. It went from taking this to now taking this. And that is huge. You know why? Because now Miami in southern Florida, which has a huge population, is now at a higher risk for a direct hurricane landfall. So look at this. The next 24 hours, instead of hitting Puerto Rico, it's going to go south of Puerto Rico. And that's going to be a very big change now. As you see now, instead of it's going to go straight towards the west-northwest, hit the Dominican Republic, go out to Haiti, and watch. Look at this. It goes from here to here, and it won't hit any land based on this. It won't hit Cuba. It won't even touch Cuba, and it won't touch the big island of the Bahamas. Those are the only big pieces of land that could tear the storm apart, or that can slow down the organization phase. So really, from here to here, actually let me draw a box. From here to here, this storm can become a very big storm. Like Weather Hub TV said, and many other people said, this is kind of the most favorable area to have a rapid intensification phase, and I do agree with that. I do not see it being a hurricane before hitting Haiti or DR. No, I do not see that because of the speed. I think it may become a moderate to strong tropical storm instead of a weak tropical storm now that it's getting a lot more convection, a lot more vorticity, but I still don't see it becoming a hurricane before affecting DR and Haiti. What I do see is it coming as a Category 1 right here, maybe Category 2 right here, and maybe even a Category 3 right here. Category 3 is still a little on the higher side, but I think this thing can rapidly intensify into at least maybe a Category 1, and then Category 2 is very well likely. Here's the new cone. That is the new cone for you, ladies and gentlemen, now including Miami, Dade County, and the Key West. I don't think this storm's going to go out into the Gulf like they're showing going to the Key West and like this. Let me show you what I do think is going to happen, though. Right here. I think this is more likely to happen. I think it's going to go south of Puerto Rico, hit the areas of, I think it's going to go obviously south of Puerto Rico, hit the Dominican Republic and Haiti, avoid Cuba and avoid the Bahamas, and possibly hit Miami dead on. That, I think, will happen. I do not think it's going to avoid Miami or Homestead, and I don't think it's going to hit I think it could very well hit the far northern Key West near the Everglades and Homestead area, but I don't think it's going to go continuing to do that western turn. I think, you know why? It's because the stronger the storm is, the more north it's going to take, which is why we were thinking at first, before it turned super south, that it was not going to hit Florida anymore because it's going to rapidly intensify in the Bahamas and take it to the Carolinas. Now that this storm's moved a lot more to the south, it's going to possibly rapidly intensify between Haiti and Miami, or Haiti and Florida, and that's going to make it go to the north, which is exactly why I think it's going to really rapidly intensify really right here. This is the main area, and that's going to gear the storm to a lot more to the north, and that's exactly why I think Miami and Homestead is in that area for potential development and huge risk there for potential hurricane landfall right there. I'm not ruling out the Key West I'm not ruling out the Keys, but I'm saying I have a better probability here for seeing a better direct landfall for the southeastern portions of Florida right there with a major update. Let's go and check out now the GFS, the NavGem model, and we have major updates on the NavGem, and this is really gonna change the aspects of what people are thinking, and what also gonna change the precautions for people in Florida and the Caribbean. Actually, first we're going to check out the European model. We're going to wait for the NavGen to load a little bit more. You guys can see that clearly here. I think the European was definitely on something for it going towards the Key West. I just don't think it's going to go as south as the European's doing it right now. They're just fully reloaded here. There it is right there. The Lesser Antilles the next 24 hours. Boom. Avoiding Puerto Rico, going to the Dominican Republic the next 48 hours. Boom. 72 hours right there. This is the big area we can go through to rapid intensification phase, or also known as RI. But look at the Euro. The catch is it's showing kind of riding the coast, which I do not think is going to happen. I think Euro is still off on exact location. I think it's still gearing it a lot more to the south. I think the Euro is showing it over land in Cuba, which is why it's not rapidly intensifying, which is exactly why it's not taking that northern turn, because it's going to be on the weaker side. The weaker the storm is, the more west it's going to go. The stronger it is, the more north it'll go. So that's exactly why the year is probably showing that here. Let's go now check out anything that else has new that has reload. Let's go check out the icon here on precipitation here. Or sorry, MLSP. So let's go and check this out here. 1,007 millibars in the next 3 hours. It actually refresh this whole thing right here. So now the icon's doing it as well. A very big update on the icon as well. A lot of models are now looking at where the storm is right now, and they're like, oh shoot, this is not gonna, it's not gonna go there. It's gonna go here now. The only model that's not showing this is GFS, and the only cone area that has not changed is the National Hurricane Center. I do expect them to really update their cones and their tracks extremely soon, because if not, then it's going to be very bad if they don't. Look at this, 1,005 millibars. It's going to be quite strong, maybe tropical storm millibar strength, which is already has tropical storm force winds, just not the setup or really the I guess you could say the organization of one. But as you see, 1,005 millibars going south of Puerto Rico, and then boom into the Dominican Republic and the Haiti area. Gonna avoid Cuba, most likely avoid Cuba. But look, it kind of rapidly intensifies a little bit, or not rapid, doesn't rapidly intensify. It possibly strengthens a decent amount, possibly with winds, maybe not, and then possibly hits the Key West there. That's what the icon showing. I think the reason why icon is not showing it hitting Miami or Homestead is because it's showing what the European is showing, right in the Cuban coast, and not being able to intensify as much. That's exactly why the nav gem is most likely showing a stronger storm more to the north, and that's probably why the tracks are also showing that. Let's go check out the GFS here, see what they show now. I think they still show, they still show the old, this is the old update where we thought it was going to hit the Carolinas. As you see, it's still showing that there. Not, that's kind of, I can see fake, kind of, not fake, old news really. So let's go and check this out here, the nav gem. This is probably the most reliable model right now at this moment. 30 hours going south of Puerto Rico, going to the Haiti area at 1,000, or going to the Dominican Republic at 1,004 millibars. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. And then boom, comes out at 1,002 millibars. This is not weaken over land, because maybe that the fact that it's moving so fast is actually going to help. 1,000 millibars by, this is actually, I believe, August 1st. No, this is actually July 31st. And then look, it's going to starting to slow down a lot. Look, 995 millibars. It's avoiding the Bahamas and avoiding Cuba. This is now into August 1st. And look, boom, right over Miami-Dade County, because the nav gem is showing it not going to Cuba and not going to Bahamas, which will most likely happen. I do not see him going that south into Cuba, and I do not see him going that north into the Bahamas until it hits Florida. Look at this, right into the areas of Miami. Let's see, look at that. And it's that little gap right there, but boom. You can definitely tell that it went right over Miami. It's actually zoom in with my touchscreen computer. Look at that. Right over Miami. Right over a very well-populated area at this point. Extremely populated area here. So we're going to continue to monitor this very closely here as this thing will continue to load. As you see, though, it is showing like an Irma-like track where it goes all the way up Florida. Let me actually zoom out a little bit more. Goes up Florida, and then possibly, actually, instead of going to the northwest, it's going to the northeast, and that's possibly going to affect the Carolinas once again. So really extreme, and I want to say exciting updates, but really, if you live in Miami, if you live in the southern Florida, near the Keys, you guys definitely want to watch out. Let's check out the winds now. The new refreshed winds. Actually, go to the new nav gem here. New nav gem. Let's check this out. This is now the nav gem, which has been the most reliable source here. 1,005 millibars there. It's still going to bring some really strong winds for Puerto Rico. Still, I'll probably say around 35 miles an hour there. And then it's going to really rapidly intensify, or I want to say rapidly intensify. It's going to intensify a lot more than Euro and icon show. It's going to go straight for the Miami area. Look, this low pressure literally goes right over Miami. It literally goes right over Miami, and then it goes up this coast here. It's going to really impact Miami if this thing can actually load at the hour. But this is also going to really impact portions of South Carolina and North Carolina as well. So it's still the southeast, including the Carolinas, are still at risk for this. I just wouldn't say you guys are at a higher risk because it's not going to be making landfall. It's going to be making effects, inland threats though. Let's also check out now. If we want to check out now, honestly, we can't really check out anything else really because no other model has reloaded at this point really. So this is kind of the point where we can only look at the nav gen. Does it really? Let's actually check out now if any other models have refreshed. The HWRF, no, that hasn't refreshed at all. The HMON, let's see if that's refreshed. Nope, not at all. Really, we can't look at anything else. We literally can't look at anything else because that's all before this thing extremely moves out. Okay, look, perfect. The nav gen fully reloaded. So look at this. Look at this for Florida. It's really increased now for Florida. It's going to bring in possibly 60, sorry, not 60, possibly around 45 to 50 miles an hour for Miami. Or that's actually the old update. Sorry, this is the old update. I don't know why it's showing this. I literally just pulled up the new update. Okay, here's the new update there. But as you see, let's go and check out precipitation again. This is going to bring in quite the flooding though. Quite the flooding for a lot of areas. It's kind of going like this. It's kind of go like this really. Like that. It's gonna go. That's kind of what it's gonna do. Really, it's gonna go like that most likely here. But we're gonna go ahead and wait out those hours. Let's go and check out now the GFS vorticity. They're not really showing anything. They're gonna show kind of really intensifying a lot as it goes over the Bahamas, and then kind of shows maybe a Outer Banks landfall. I think that is out of the picture now. A Outer Banks landfall from water. I mean, the Outer Banks can still get effects, especially with the NavGen mission. It's going to check out now the NavGen. We want to, actually I forgot, NavGen didn't show that. CMC here for vorticity. Honestly, we can't really check out vorticity as well because these all these models are really kind of focused on the wrong timing or the wrong cone because they have not refreshed. So once they refresh later today at 10:30 or something like that, that's when you kind of look at them. Here the track though. Here it is. This is so far the life of this on the 24th all the way up to the 28th there. But yeah, that is that. Alright, this is my map I just made a couple minutes ago with this new update. This is what I think could possibly happen. The track and the intensity here. Light, the very bright blue means tropical storm. That beige color is a category 1, and that second shade of beige is a category 2. And then that's basically it because I don't think it's going to be a category 3 as of now or a category 4 or 5. So look, this could be a tropical storm. As early as tomorrow, it's going to make possibly landfall as a tropical storm for the Lesser Antilles. I could say this could be named as early as midnight before officially the 29th, and then make landfall in Dominican Republic, possibly a tropical storm, and then come out as a tropical storm, but really intensifies a lot in that general area where it could possibly, I wouldn't say rapidly intensify as in like 35 miles an hour in a day, but it's probably gonna get close to the point where it can rapidly intensify. But look, category 1 possibly right south of the big island of the Bahamas. Like I said, it's gonna possibly most likely avoid land and then straight into a category 2 right before landfall over Miami-Dade in the southeastern portion of Florida, and then go up the Florida region. Category 1 for maybe Orlando. Category 1 up to maybe possibly affecting Gainesville, Florida. Tropical storm for far southern, at the point where it gets to Georgia. Tropical storm force wind as far as even if it gets to South Carolina, and then becoming a tropical depression in the mid-Atlantic, and then post-tropical in the northeast. So guys, this is a huge update now on PTC9 to be Isaiah's. Really now monitoring Miami and southern Florida extremely closely here. Hope you guys did enjoy the video, and bye guys.